Hey y'all, this is a demonstration of how to complete the assignment titled Texture Challenge. So the first thing that you need to do is select two images with interesting textures. You could print something as I have here, if you have that capability. But that's not really necessary. You also could just look at an image on your phone or other device. You also could find photos from advertisements, newspapers, magazines. Pick images of things you would like to learn about drawing or things that are challenging. Your image selection will show a bit about your interests and your confidence level. This is actually a photograph that I took the other day. I'm considering making a painting based on this photograph. And so I'm using this as an opportunity to do a little study of some textures in a couple of areas. If you're working from a physical photo, as I am, you should cut out a piece of your selected image that measures about 2 inches by 2 inches and put those onto a piece of paper. So you could take a little piece of a couple different images. I actually chose to take 2 different pieces of this image. I cut out this section because I wanted to study the texture of the river here. And I cut out this section because I wanted to study what the texture of these distant trees look like. When drawing bare trees like this, it's so tempting to try to actually draw every branch that you see. But in an area like this, it makes much more sense to try to create the feeling of the texture. Because of atmospheric perspective, things that are far away like this are not as clear as the things up here. So in the foreground, if I do make a painting, I'll make these branches crisp, and then I need to look at how to make these ones look like they're further away. And I'll do that by making them a little blurry. So you'll need to put those pictures or those pieces that you cut out onto a piece of paper if you're working from physical photos like this. If you're working from digital images, you can just send those files to me separately. So let's see. I printed them in color and in black and white just for demonstration purposes so that you could see the comparison. Often when we're looking at a color image, we become distracted from the value, but the value is really our focus this time. So it's not necessary for you to set your paper up exactly like this. I do want to see the reference that you were looking at, the reference photo. That's the picture you were looking at while you were working. So please be sure to send that along with your work. So I'm going to get started here. I'm going to start using a wood pencil. I think a wood pencil is a very valuable tool for art making. Oh, you don't have a wood pencil? Oh, here's one. If we were in class, I would actually give you a pencil. I actually could mail you a pencil. I did bring a box of pencils from school. If you email me your address, I would put one of these in an envelope and mail it to you. Anyway, okay, so back to the demonstration. So you need to draw a little square that has the same dimensions as what you're looking at. One way to accomplish that would be to use the back of your pencil to measure. So I could measure here, make sure that this edge is the same length. It doesn't have to be exact, but it really does help if you have a format that has the same dimensions as the photo that you're looking at. So now I just need to start measuring values in here and replicating what I see over here. I am going to use my value scale to do that. Oops, that's not my value scale. That's my value scale. This is the value scale that I made in a previous exercise. And so I could actually start by looking at some of the bigger shapes. I have this big branch coming through here, and comparing the value of that branch to values on the value scale. I forgot to number it. this branch here, I see that it's mostly a 10 value and some parts are a 9 value. I see that it comes into the format right around the halfway mark, right about halfway between here and here. Maybe just a bit to the left of halfway. And it goes out of the frame over here, not quite at the corner. There's a bit of space between the edge and the corner. So those are the types of things that I'm looking at to get it placed properly. And now I really need to shade this to a 10 value, leaving little bits of 9 value to create that bark texture. It's because I see those little bits of 9 value that I know that there's a bit of a rough bark texture. If I were not more knowledgeable about trees based on the pattern of those values, I could actually identify this tree. I see that this branch comes in front of this one as I'm going along here, and I'm noticing there's a 10 value right along the bottom edge of that branch, and so I'm really making it a 10 value. And I'll keep going like this, looking at values and really trying to replicate the values as I see them for a while here. I think in this demonstration, I'll do a time lapse going from this point in the video or near here. Before I go to that, let me say that the technique that I'm using here with this pencil is using the edge of it with a wood pencil. This is an effective way to shade. If you are using a mechanical pencil, you'll have to use the type of hatching that we practice in the value scale here. So I could make this similar type of value by building up lines rather than using the edge of my pencil. If you don't have a pencil at all and you're forced to use pen, hatching is also the best option for you. So give that a try. As always, just do your best work. Spend about a half an hour on this project. Send me what you have. It is a practice. Don't stress out about it. Please just do your best. I think a lot of you will be pleasantly surprised by what good work you are able to do just by really focusing on value. So I'll keep going now. As you watch the video, it'll speed up. We'll go to the time lapse.